Hi, ladies. Welcome to February's live Q&A. I know that there's a few of you that sent in a few questions that couldn't make it live. So to you and the rest of you watching the recording, please make sure that if you do have questions while you watch the recording, that you still post them in the comments because I will get back to them. And for those of you who are live, feel free to ask questions as we go. First of all, we have started week 7. So this is our recovery week. It's just a 1-week recovery week in the middle of our build for the first season of the year. So for Q1 or the winter season, I know I sort of interchangeably use those different words when describing our current 13-week session. So when we hit the recovery week, it is very important that this is particularly important for those of you who have been going hard for these first 6 weeks, who have been doing all or at least like most of the workouts at a fairly high intensity. This is meant to be an easy week. So it is meant for you to take that intensity down. I do want you lifting a little bit lighter weights. I don't want this week to feel like a hard one. I know that there's some of you that do find the full body workouts more difficult, or you find them harder. And if you're one of those people, then that's a sign for you to go even lighter. So lift lighter, take this as an easy week. This is meant to be a week where you're still moving your body, you're still getting your workouts in, so you're not changing your routine, you're not changing that consistency, but you're giving your body an active break. We're sticking with that routine, we're still doing our workouts, but we're giving it a little bit of a break because starting next week, we've got another build. So we need this break so that you can push it again for those next 6 weeks. However, if you're someone who has fallen behind in your workout, so like maybe you haven't been getting as many in as you intended, maybe you've been getting none in, or maybe just one, or possibly the occasional 2 a week, this is the week that I want you to play catch up. So if you have been, if you feel like you've fallen behind, I don't need you to take this easy, because generally speaking, doing a full body workout will be less taxing on your body. So you can go at a regular intensity to help sort of, get back on the wagon and back into the groove so that your body is ready for next week when we go back to the split workouts. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I know that there's a lot of you who've been here for a while, but I also know there's a lot of you who've been here for a while who still go a little too hard during the recovery week. Okay, this is your easy week. All right, it's a gift, my gift to you. So take it. But from here, I'm going to move on to something that I've had a few people inquire about, and that is protein. So I've dabbled in and I've talked a little bit about, protein here or there as we've moved through the last couple years. And so I wanted to make sure that you guys know it is really important that you are getting protein in your diet, but especially after your strength training, you do want to make sure that you are getting protein in, because during your workouts, you're actually breaking down your muscles. So you're breaking those muscles down, and where you get stronger is actually in the recovery phase. So it's as those muscles rebuild, that's where all the magic happens. It's not actually like, sure, the magic happens during the workout, but in terms of what's happening in your body, you're being mean to those muscles, and so they need that protein to rebuild, because that's where you're going to see that progress. So timing is important. It's really important to get that protein in right after your workout. If you're going to have a meal right away, then you can consume protein via food. That is actually the most ideal, is to get your protein in an actual food source. So like ideally, most of you, there's only a few vegetarians in here, but most of you are meat eaters. So like meat or eggs is sort of your best option. But if you can't either stomach a meal right after, or you don't have the time to have a meal right after, whatever the case may be, this is where protein powder is, in my opinion, an essential part of strength training, because this is a way for you to get that protein in immediately after your workout so that you can give your body, do a solid for your body. So it's going to do a better job of rebuilding in that recovery phase. So there's multiple recovery phases. This is a recovery week, but I'm talking in the recovery before you, in between now and your next workout. This protein will help act as a benefit to those muscles as they rebuild. So when it comes to purchasing a protein powder, I strongly recommend Whey Isolate. And the reason I do that is it's a much cleaner protein. And because you're still eating all your meals, you don't want to add a ton of extra into that protein. You're really just trying to get that protein in. So with an isolate, you got it's really low in carbs and fat. And so you're not adding a ton in, and really you're still getting all the essential amino acids. And so if you can do an Whey Isolate with water, that is actually most ideal for a post-workout protein shake. If you're using this, some people will have like a smoothie for a meal replacement, and you're going to add protein into that. So you've got your fruit and your protein. This is where I would still suggest a Whey Isolate, because you are adding in the carbs from the fruit and whatnot. So I'm big on the isolate. And in terms of what you should purchase, it's up to you. I really think it's important that you think it tastes good, because if you're buying a protein powder that you feel like tastes like garbage or chalk, first of all, you're not going to want to drink it, and you're definitely not going to want to drink it with water. So my favorite protein brand is Kaizen Naturals. But there's two. There's a whey protein and there's a Whey Isolate. And so the Whey Isolate is the one you want. It is a little bit more expensive, but that's because it's, again, more pure. So the whey protein is cheaper. It's going to be a little higher in carbs and fat. It's not the end of the world, because that brand, Kaizen, they get their protein from like grass-fed New Zealand cows. So it's been known that those are the best cows to provide the best protein. So ideally, that's my favorite. I think it tastes good. Not everyone does, so it's worth it to try it. And you can often find Kaizen's always available at Superstore. I mean, you can get it online too. Anywhere online, you can order it. But what I've noticed at Superstore is they often have like individual packets. And I would suggest that buy the vanilla, buy the chocolate, try one of each, so that you can kind of have a sample of what it tastes like before committing to a huge bucket of it. If you know you like it, often Costco has it, but it's a large bucket. So that's why I think it's great to buy that sample pack from Superstore and see if you like it. The other protein that I would recommend, because the majority of people think it tastes good, is Isoflex. That's from Allmax. And Isoflex is really good tasting, so it's really easy to mix with water. That's something you're going to need to go to GNC to buy, or again, online. I know I'm like the only person that still goes to stores to buy things. I know my friends make fun of me because they all shop online. I don't know why I don't. It would save me a lot of time. So anyways, you can look online to buy the Isoflex as well, or go into GNC. Really and truthfully, I'll finish the protein talk by, if you find one that you like, any kind of protein supplement is going to be better than not having that protein supplement for right after your workout. And I guess I also wanted to throw this out there. I have tried a few vegan proteins, and I don't have a suggestion for those of you who are vegan or lactose intolerant, because I don't think they taste very good. So if you are a vegetarian or vegan or lactose intolerant sheep eater, and you have a vegan protein that you think tastes good and you would recommend, please put it here, because that's something I'm always looking for, are suggestions for others that taste good or that taste better than bad. Anyways, let me know if you do have any more questions about the protein, because that is seems to be a common topic these days. Lastly, I just wanted to quickly sort of go over motivation. And I know that this time of year where we're tired of winter, it's a hard time of year for a lot of people, especially when we get a dump of snow and we're looking at the forecast and we're going to have another cold snap here in Calgary. It's hard because we're struggling, right? We just want winter to be over. So I want you to know that having struggles with your motivation is very normal. Everyone has it. It's like there is no person in the world that doesn't ever waver with their motivation. Most professional athletes do lack motivation multiple times. So you're not alone, because I know we see people on the internet like going hard all the time, but what these people have is routine. It's not motivation. They are not riding high every day, but they have a routine that they stick to. So I want to remind you how important routine is. Structure is important, especially when you are struggling mentally. And I don't need you to stick always with structure in terms of our strength workouts. Sometimes you do need a break from that, but what you do need to keep is the structure with your activity and your movement. So please remember, on times where life gets crazy, stress is through the roof, and your workouts need to slide a bit, that's normal. It happens to all of us. I have also missed a week or two of workouts many times. It's not like it's a rare thing. That does happen to me a couple times a year, where it's an entire week that I miss my workouts. And I need you guys to know that that isn't going to affect your overall health and strength greatly. It's really important that you try to keep movement in. So even when the wheels feel like they're falling off, if you can get a walk in, or even just some stretching or like mobility work where you're at least moving your body, that's going to help you stick with that routine that you've created, that structure in your schedule. And it's okay to leave the structure of the program. So if you're missing a week of all your workouts, don't dwell on it. Shit happens. What's really important is that you get back on track for that next week. Even if it becomes 2 weeks, 2 weeks of not hitting your workouts is not a big deal, as long as you get back into it and back into the rhythm. When it becomes a big deal is when you're missing 1 or 2 weeks often. So you miss a week, okay, you get back to it, but then you miss another week. And then you get back to it for a week, and then you miss another 2 weeks. And then you get back to it for a week. And so that's actually where you're going to really start to see negative effects to the gains that you've made. So don't be hard on yourself. Take breaks if you need to, but get back to it as soon as you can. You guys have been doing awesome. So far, Q1 for 2023 has been kick-ass. So I'm really proud of the amount of workouts that you guys have all been committing to. And I'm happy to see that there have been people who've had things happen in their life, take a small hiatus, but come back to it. So keep it up, ladies. You have been doing great. Enjoy this easy week. And I can't wait for next week to ramp things up with you once again. And if you do have any questions, now's your chance to fire away. Yeah, that made sense. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. And at any time, make sure if you do have questions that are, anything related to health and fitness, you can ask them at any time, and you can always ask them right here in the community, because I do often find that I have some similar things coming in. So ask them here, because even the people who haven't asked them are often interested in the answer. So have an awesome, awesome rest of your day, ladies. I will see you on the internet. Take care.